Hey guys, it's Scott here, and today I'll be boxing the Gears of War 4 Limited Edition Xbox One S bundle, which came out in the UK on the 6th of October, which was a day before the game was available digitally, for the Ultimate Edition at least. And inside this beautiful box, which as you can see features some of the key artwork from the front of the packaging, we have a digital download for the Gears of War 4 game, which has the Ultimate Edition, so you get the game, the Season Pass, and all of the pre-order bonuses. We have the Limited Edition Xbox One S Red, or Crimson Red, Gears of War 4 branded console with the Gears of War branded Xbox One S controller. I do say Xbox One S controller because it is the newer with the one with the mini jack at the bottom. So basically it's your normal Xbox One S console, but it's been rebranded to a Gears of War design. So we have the Crimson Omen on the top, we have the claw marks that have been laser edged into the side of the console, and has some special Gears of War themed sounds, which we'll get into that later on in this video. Start off with, we open the box up and we are welcomed to this little welcome sheet, which has even been designed specifically for this limited edition bundle. Basically it gives you a rundown of how to, store your Xbox One console, how to connect it to your TV. It's basically a quick start guide to get you going. But if you're a bit like me and already have an Xbox One or have played with an Xbox 360, you'll know by now how to set it up and so forth. Moving on, we then have the contents of the box. So in here we have the HDMI cable, which is the 4K compatible HDMI cable. So if you plan on using 4K Blu-rays, because obviously the Xbox One S can play 4K Blu-rays, that's the cable you'll need to use, otherwise you might not get the best quality. Moving on, we then have the Xbox One controller, which is the Xbox One S variation of the controller. This is, like I say, the Gears of War branding one, so it is like a crimson red, kind of mimics that of the Gears of War 3 Xbox 360 controller did some time ago. So here we have close up. As you can see, we've got the claw marks on the right hand side, which are edged in, so you can actually rub your finger across and feel the indentation there. We've got the buttons X, A, B, Y. They feel like they've been scratched on rather than just a normal button. As you can see at the bottom, we've got the 3.5mm jack for normal headsets, and then we have the Crimson logo on the left hand side with some more scratching there as well to give you that sort of swarm monster battle damage type feeling. And then on the bottom where the battery compartment is, you will see another emblem. I'm not going to spoil too many details of what this emblem will be, but you'll find out in the story, which if you do play this game you'll find out for yourself. So that's pretty much the controller, and it feels quite strong and sturdy. And here is a closer look at that controller. So as you can see on the D-pad, it's got like a blood-stained fingerprint, and as you can see all the way around the controller there's blood stains going all around, just to give you that sort of gruesome battle feel that you wouldn't usually get from a normal controller. Like I say, pretty much mimics the design and style used with the Gears of War 3 Xbox 360 bundle that Microsoft brought out a couple of years ago. So moving that aside for the time being, we then have the power cable, which as you can see, since the power brick is built into the Xbox One S unit, all you get is that single power lead, pretty much the same power lead that you get with a PS3 and a PS4. So there's going to be no bulky power brick behind your console. It's just going to be straight into plug, and away you go, which is obviously a godsend, so to speak, because the power brick was insanely large and the previous power brick that I had kept falling apart, which is a bit concerning, but I don't need to worry about that anymore. Moving outside, we then get to the, in a sense, the main goodies of this packaging, which is the Gears of War 4 Ultimate Edition game. So in this code you'll get both Xbox One and Windows 10 versions of the game, as well as all of the pre-order bonus DLC and the Season Pass, which is expected to give like 2 extra maps per month for a year, and maybe some additional characters and so forth. Fortunately, the codes have been used, so if you're thinking of typing those in right now, then you're going to be, disappointed, as I've used them for myself. But you will be glad to hear that you can use this 14-day Xbox Live trial. So if you're looking for an Xbox Live trial and you're one of the first people to watch this video, redeem the code now for a freebie. That's how good I am to you guys. So, yeah. But yeah, all the other documentation in that little packaging is basically your Xbox help guides and quick start guides and things like that. Nothing really worth pointing out. Just chuck them to one side and away we go. So with all the, in a sense, kind of cool stuff out of the way, we'll then get straight to the console itself. But before that, you'll notice that inside the actual Xbox One S packaging, we've got the Crimson Omen and we have some scratches across the top. It sort of gives you an impression that Microsoft packaging department have been giving this console the extra mile, as it's not just a simple box like PlayStation do. They've given some weight, as they probably know that Gears fans like to keep their boxes. So now we get to the good part of this unboxing video, and that is of course unboxing the Xbox One S Gears of War 4 console itself, which, like I mentioned before, it's a standard Xbox One S console that's been rebranded to the style of Gears of War 4, or Gears of War in general, because it doesn't actually mention Gears of War 4 anywhere on the console, so that's kind of a good thing, because it means you can, you know, it's not tied to a particular game. You can say, yeah, that's my red Gears of War 5 console, if, you know, Gears of War 5 ever does come out, which I think it will at some point. So as you can see, being very careful here, as I don't want to damage it more than it already is. That is a joke, by the way, because obviously we've got the laser etched in scratches on the top. So as you can see, we've got the Crimson Omen on the top, which is where the fan is, so to speak. On the front, we then got more bloodstains and some more scratches on the unit. Moving on to the back, we then have the power port at the left, the HDMI in, the HDMI out, 2 USB sockets, and all the usual gubbins that you'd come to expect from an Xbox One S console, such as the optical out point out. So here's a closer look. We have the power button on the right hand side, and underneath that, the actual connector button. We have the disc tray button, and then we have a closer look at the disc tray and the USB port. And we're just going to peel that off out of the way so you can get a clearer look at the battle damage scratches and the gruesome blood stains that are surrounding the console itself. So yeah, it's a pretty nice looking console in terms of, you know, brutality and blood and things like that. It really grips that type of feel of what you can expect from a Gears of War game. And if you do own the Xbox 360 Gears of War 3 limited edition console, it will look superb next to it, as it does in my well, under my TV in my house. But here's another close look at the back. So as you can see, you've got all the HDMI in and out ports. You've got 2 extra USB ports, headphone jack in, optical output out, and so forth. So that's what you can expect from the Xbox One S Gears of War limited edition console bundle, which is now available in the UK and, in a sense, worldwide.